Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today we are going to learn the poem Ballad of the Tempest written by James T. Fields. Before going to the poem, let us know something about the poet. James T. Fields was born in Portsmouth in New Hampshire on December 31st, 1817 and named James Field. His father was a sea captain and died before Fields was 3. A number of his works are collected in his book Ballads and Verses, published in the year 1880. This volume contains the poem Ballad of the Tempest. Children, you all might have heard the saying, "Fortune favors the brave." It is an often quoted statement. Even Columbus had a lot of faith in Almighty. Who had a lot of faith in Almighty, children? Columbus. But is it true for everybody? Will everybody have the same faith in the Almighty? Will all believe God? Few people will have lots of faith in the Almighty. They believe in God, whereas others doesn't even like to tell the name of God. Many people will believe that God will come to rescue them in times of danger. Now listen to the poem where the sailors face a great peril, a great problem. See whether someone will come to their rescue or not. Now let's read and comprehend the poem. We were crowded in the cabin, not a soul would dare to sleep. It was midnight on the waters, and a storm was on the deep. It is a fearful thing in winter to be shattered by the blast, and to hear the rattling trumpet, thunder cut away the mast. So we shuddered there in silence, for the stoutest held his breath, while the hungry sea was roaring and the breakers talked with death. As thus we sat in darkness, each one busy with his prayers. "We are lost," the captain shouted as he staggered down the stairs. But his little daughter whispered as she took his icy hand, "Isn't God upon the ocean just the same as on the land?" Then we kissed the little maiden, and we spake in better cheer, and we anchored safe in harbour when the morn was shining clear. Children, Ballad of the Tempest is a poem written by James Thomas Fields. Once a ship was caught by the violent storm. In this poem, the poet describes the situation and condition of the sailors. What does the poet describe in this poem, children? He describes about the situation and condition of the sailors when they were caught by the violent storm. This poem is a ballad and it is one of the poet's masterpiece. Ballad means a narrative composition in rhythmic verse suitable for singing. Here, the speaker of the poem is the sailor. Who is the speaker of the poem, children? The sailor is the speaker of the poem. Really, voyage on the sea is an adventurous task. Here the poem starts in which the sailors had to face great danger. Who had to face the great danger, children? The sailors. Children, once the ship was caught by the violent storm at midnight. Storm means a bad weather condition with heavy rain and strong wind. All the sailors had crowded in the cabin. Where were the sailors crowded? They were crowded in the cabin. Though it was midnight, no one dared to sleep. Nobody was daring to sleep. All were frightened. All were scared because of that violent storm. The storm was very deep. The sailors were afraid that the storm would destroy the ship and their lives. Because of that, not even a single person dared to sleep. It was fearful because it was a winter season. The tempest is the fearful thing in winter on the sea. In the deep sea, there will be a lot of disturbance caused by the speedy tempest. That means there will be lots of disturbance by the storms, and the sailors will not be able to control the ships. The ship was to break apart by the gust of wind. The sailors heard the rattling trumpet. They heard the thunderous noise of the cutting away of the mast. During winter, the sea water will be very cold and become frozen. If the ship is shattered, the condition would be serious. The sailors have to face many difficulties. It may lead to the death of the sailors, and the rescue will be a formidable task. All the sailors shuddered there in silence. Even the strongest brave person had held their breath. Even the brave people were holding their breath. The sea was roaring like a hungry lion. The hungry sea. It was a monster sea with its giant waves that would devour the ship. It would destroy the ship and everything in it. Because of that, all the people were holding their breath. The large turbulent waves talked with death and moving towards the land. Looking at the hungry sea, all were sitting in darkness and everyone was praying God for their safety. When everyone was praying God for their safety, the captain staggered down the stairs and he shouts that we are lost. He will come down the stairs unsteadily and he will shout, we are lost. When the captain shouted, we are lost, his little daughter took his icy hand and whispered him, if there is also God on the ocean just as on the land. The little daughter will ask her father that, isn't God upon the ocean just the same as on the land? By hearing her talk, all got some hope and prayed the God earnestly. They prayed the God sincerely. By hearing the innocent words of the little maiden, the captain and the crewmates regained confidence. They got some hope. The sudden changes occurred in their heart. It cheered up everyone and helped them to land safely in harbor. So the crewmates kissed the little maiden and spoke in better cheer. By the innocent words of the girl, suddenly the astonishing change occurs and the sailors anchored the ship safely in the harbor when the morning was shining clear. God is everywhere. The only thing is that man should have faith in Him. If we believe God and if we pray God sincerely, He will come to rescue us in times of difficulty. If we have faith in God, the danger which comes like a mountain could disappear like a sand. The danger which comes like a mountain will melt like an ice. This is all about the poem Ballad of the Tempest. Now, here comes your assignment. Memorize the poem Ballad of the Tempest. Write and learn this poem. I hope this class was beneficial for you. Meet you all in the next class. Thank you.